not going to read anything. No, actually, like, if you've been listening to me long enough, you probably realize the reason I haven't gone into like as much detail as I have with this series is because, like, I don't read single issues. I mean, I read Hellblazer, I read Usagi Yojimbo because like I got my reasons for those. But I'm not going to go ahead and start investing in single issues just for just writing for all these new series. I mean, like, if DC doesn't collect, so these series I hear are supposed to be really, really good, then it's like, sure, I'll go out and buy them eventually. But I mean, as it stands right now, I mean, it's like I'm not going to go out and rush out and buy the new Justice League or Stormwatch, which I'm looking forward to because it's Paul Cornell, or Action Comics written by Grant Morrison, who's doing like young Superman's origin story. I mean, it's gonna be fantastic. But still, I mean, I've always been like a trade paperback reader, except for like certain specific situations, and I'm not gonna like bother with it until I start seeing this stuff come out in trade paperback. So really, I mean, kudos to DC for like taking such a really real drastic move, and I like the idea that they're saying, like, we're gonna stop writing for the trade, we're gonna start writing for more serialized audience, right? Which, hey, I don't care. I mean, if it's a great story, it's gonna read great in single issue forms, read just as well in trade paperbacks. So I don't think I'm losing anything by not following on here. But still, it's like, I think that it's going to be. I'm looking forward to seeing how this pans out. 'Cause apparently, like it's working out sales wise for DC, but we'll see how. But I'll definitely be looking to seeing how the story. It's like how things go in the. It's like once things start hitting trade paperback. At least I hope they go to trade paperback. I hope they don't hit hardcover because then it's going to be like real decision. Like, am I going to like buy this stuff? Or am I going to wait till I paperback, or I'm going to wait till I find it half off at Comic-Con? Who knows? Anyway, though, so I guess, like, I'm segueing from like talking about DC's new initiative to talking about something for Marvel now, because everyone knows that Marvel entered the heroic age upon it's like after the Siege crossover. Basically, like, everything was like heroes are going to start being heroes again, and now everything, like, after like Osborn was kicked out of being like his Hammer organization, and now like Steve Rogers is the head of S.H.I.E.L.D. and America's top cop. Like, everything is going to be great again, and and the thing is, though, it's like, but it also represents kind of like an end to what, like, basically Brian Michael Bendis' big, huge meta arc that he's been doing with New Avengers, like, since day one. Now, but the thing is, though, like, now that he's done with the story, Marvel is figured, okay, well, what are we going to do now? So I figured, like, based on what I've seen so far, they've asked, hey Brian, you want to go ahead and just do it again? So that's what we're facing with, and basically, like, Bendis is now has basically relaunched both New Avengers and Avengers proper, like, under his own scribe. Now, you'll know that I said in the past, I've generally enjoyed Bendis's like New Avengers stuff. I mean, I know a lot of people are going to generally bitch about how he's not, his style is not the classic Avenger style. How he's ignored years of like character development for certain characters. And the thing is, though, that for me, though, like, my Avengers are Bendis' Avengers, because I've never actually really bothered reading a lot of Avengers stuff before he came on board. It's like, I'll buy just about anything Bendis writes, and so when he starts writing Avengers, I'll start buying Avengers. So I bought New Avengers, and I'm also buying his regular, Avengers proper series. So which one did I like more? Surprisingly, I liked Avengers proper more, because as much as it indulges his decompressed character and dialogue driven style, it really gives you like a great big epic story for the characters to embark upon. Now Bendis' team involves like a lot of people who've also come up from his run on. It's like on New Avengers. Like, you've got, I mean, naturally you've got like still Steve Rogers, you got Iron Man, you got Thor, you got Captain America, Bucky Barnes. Then you got Spider-Man, Hawkeye, Spider-Woman, and Wolverine. Brought in from New Avengers, and it's like, and they're all like having like a nice meet and greet, like talking about how we're going to run things and how things are going to function or thing under. It's like in this new era, and then Kang, like longtime Avengers, like the time traveler, time terrorist Kang shows up and tells them that, hey, like, you know, you need to come to the future and stop your kids from taking over because they are going to turn to be real bad people who take over the world and kill me eventually. So naturally, it's like they're trying to figure out what's Kang's deal, and then they find. And well, how are we going to get to the future in order to like stop what he's talking about? Well, naturally, like talking with Victor Von Doom and his time machine is out of the question. So they go to Novar, former Marvel boy, now Captain Marvel, and they ask him to build a time machine, take some of their members to the future. Now, while like Wolverine, Iron Man, Captain America, and I think it's just those guys. They go to the future, and everyone else is there. Everyone stays behind. They find that time is broken. That somehow Kang broke time by trying to get all these people to fight Ultron over and over again. And from there, it's like the present day devolves into like a huge fight against like all these time lost creatures, including Galactus, pterodactyls, cavemen, pirates, all this crazy shit. It just gets crazier and crazier from there, especially after the heroes who go in the future wind up trapped in the Groundhog Day type scenario, and they've got to go in and resolve things on their own. Now basically, I realize this is like Bendis trying to write a standard like big superhero epic type story. Big crazy stuff happens, and he's aided by a great superhero artist in John Romita Jr. I mean, he just like Romita the man just like he's got a great expressionist, great style in playing character, emotion, and expression, mixed with like a great ability to just draw like crazy superhero action. Like there's this great double page spread of Thor, just after he's gone, knock the crap out of something. I think it's Martian Walker, and then finds out that there's all this crazy stuff here, including like the pterodactyls, shield helicarriers, biplanes, and Galactus just still around for him to beat on. And this comes after Apocalypse has shown up with crazed future versions of his Four Horsemen, including Spider-Man, Wolverine, and the Scarlet Witch, to threaten the Avengers. I mean, it's great, big, crazy superhero action, and whether or not it may not be the classic Avenger style that Stan Lee and Jack Kirby pioneered, or that Kurt Busiek did back in the 90s, but still I really enjoyed it. It sets up a big epic story, and I like the resolution that basically involves Tony Stark throwing himself on Ultron's mercy in a way to stop things, and it also sets things up in a way because you see their timeline, and you find out that bad things are coming, and to be honest, I'm looking forward to seeing how that where that goes. Now, this isn't to say that New Avengers isn't bad by any means, but it's still very much Bendis kind of picking up with where he left off with New Avengers. I mean, really, this isn't really a number one issue. You just could have kept the renumbering from his previous series, and here you go. Because basically, this series picks up on his Search for the Sorcerer Supreme storyline back in the day, where Dr. Voodoo was named the new Sorcerer Supreme, and Damon Hellstrom, or otherwise known as Son of Satan, was basically ranting on about the barriers between the Marvel universe and this mystical dimensions are breaking down. All this crazy shit's gonna come in, And then you find out in the very first 2 pages that, hey, crazy shit has come in. And how are they doing it? By possession. So from there it goes on to show you that Luke Cage is now leading his Avengers team, of which Spider-Man and Wolverine are also part of, because Spider-Man and Wolverine have to be part of every Avengers team now. But they have to be part of every superhero team in the Marvel universe, aside from just being a part of the X-Men, X-Force, 2 Avengers teams. Wolverine's mutant power is now multitasking, and Spider-Man, aside from being in his own title, he's also got his he's also got his gig in the Fantastic Four now as well. So aside from the multitasking bit, you've got Luke Cage and leading his new team, basically made up of Danny Rand, Iron Fist, his wife Jessica Jones, former aide to Norman Osborn, Victoria Hand, which I think is a great addition, because if you did read her interrogation by Steve Rogers in Dark Avengers, you realize that no, she does have good ideas. It's just that she was aide to Norman Osborn, so that's really not the best venue to express these things in. And then you got most of the other guys from the old New Avengers team come in, and they have to deal with a possessed Diamond Hellstrom and Stephen Strange. They try to get the Eye of Agamotto, one of the main artifacts of the Sorcerer Supreme, and try to figure out why does this mysterious entity want this item, and why is he breaking through the universal walls in order to get it. Now, it's got a lot of the great dialogue and cleverness I like from Bendis's run, but the thing is, it's still a very very small scale story, despite all the other dimensional craziness. And it still kind of bugs me to the point where most of the series just kind of spent who is doing this, who is doing this, who is doing this, until Spider-Man stumbles upon the obvious solution in a great scene where he says oh, hey, I can really believe that's why Spider-Man thought of that's how, of course Spider-Man would think of it this way, because that's how he thinks. It's a great moment, and I did like how they set up Wolverine as as their avatar to make for the final fight, because hey, they're not going to expect Wolverine to be the great mystical avatar they send for the final battle. So but also in addition to this, it's kind of, we're still kind of feels like we're kind of joining a story in progress, and we're kind of dealing with the magic stuff. Bendis does a good enough handle on it, but it's still kind of it doesn't really show me anything new for this. I mean, it's a good volume of New Avengers, but it doesn't give me anything new. I mean, still though, you've got Stewart and Monin handling the art, and the man can do no wrong. I mean, no, seriously. Man can do no wrong, and anyone who says otherwise can just shut the fuck up right now, because I will come to your ass and kick your ass, because he is completely awesome. And much as I'd like to see him on the series full time, he is now he's currently illustrating the series, the current Marvel's current mega crossover, Fear Itself, and I have to say that series is lucky to have him, because the man is awesome. So. So I say buy regular Avengers first. New Avengers, if you enjoy Bendis' stuff, on New Avengers so far, then it'll float your boat there too. That being said, Bendis also wrote another series to tie into that came in the wake of Siege, to basically it functions as more of a story beat than anything else, because this series, Avengers Prime, this series, because for years, it's Iron Man, Steve Rogers, and Thor were kind of at each other's throats, when they were still alive, and when some of them came back, they were still kind of like at each other's throats because like having like Iron Man building a synthetic Thor, it's gonna kind of cheese Thor off in like major ways. But the thing is though that once like Bendis started writing Avengers and New Avengers, he skipped past all the acrimony that those three would have had and just started writing these stories proper. Now I really think that's a good idea because it allows you to get to the meat of the stories quicker, but still, these guys have been at each other's throats for like a long time now. It's like you have to do something in order to like reconcile that. Now, and that's where Avengers Prime comes in. Basically, Prime takes place right in the aftermath of Siege, and as the dust settles, they start to realize that, hey, what are you Steve Rogers like, hey, why am I going to allow you Iron Man to keep your armor when you've just been like anti-human civil rights for all this time? And like Thor's like, and Iron Man's like, oh, what the hell? This is my stuff. Why can't you let me keep this? And Thor's like, if you guys are gonna bitch in like my city's in ruins, like I really don't need either of your actions right here. So as they try to work together, they find themselves whisked off to Asgard. Only it's a very ruined and desolated Asgard, as like it's gone. As things have gone like really really bad since events of Siege, and it turns out that Hela, goddess of the Norse underworld, Hel, has gotten her hands on the Twilight Sword, is now set about remaking the worlds in her image, as well as taking out her anger on all of Thor's injustices over the years. Now essentially like it starts off. Once you get into Asgard, Iron Man, like Steve Rogers and Thor are all separated, and they got some nice moments in there. Not really with Thor because he's just finds himself thrust into combat with the Enchantress, who has her own scores to settle. But Iron Man winds up being vexed by some ogres and a dragon, and Steve winds up in a great moment walking in on a bunch of dark elves and says like, hey, it's like, hey, you guys, anyone want to tell me where I am? I'm a friend of Lord Thor. It's like, you're a friend of Lord Thor? Kill him! And they just go to town on him, but they don't realize that he's a super soldier, and he just beats down like an entire room of these things. It's a nice moment. It's fun seeing how these guys adapt to to Asgard in their own way, and it's helped immensely by Alan Davis's great art. I mean, the guy does like great superhero action. Like you really get a sense for all the momentum and energy that the fights have, as well as just the regular like talking sequences. I mean, the guy just knows how to tilt panels in just the right way to make you more invested in what's going on, just to give them this like a nice sense of energy and momentum to things. I mean, to be honest, like his work here is probably the bigger star of the story here, because all this story is just basically one like little story beat. Just like Bendis is providing the characters with an adventure to go on to reaffirm their bond, show that these are the three Avengers who are like they're the core of the team, and it's like, yes, they've had their differences in the past, but now they're eventually going to learn to work together and lead everything to a brave new heroic age. And that's how things work. I mean, it's like I kind of wish that Bendis had done more with Tony's like, oh, I am a sorcerer stunt with the trolls early on, but still, it's like, I mean, it's a nice enough story, and also like I realize a lot of people here must realize that if I'm reading this now, I've got the hardcover. The reason I got the hardcover is because like the my local Borders was going out of business, and they had it at half off. So it's like it's coming out in the next month or so in paperback, and it's like, and it's like as much as while I enjoyed it, it's it's a fun story. It also kind of really goes against what Kieran Gillen did in his Siege and Siege Aftermath tie-ins with Hela, because it's like you look at this and you realize, so when did Hela have the time to use a Twilight Sword in order to try and take over the Nine Realms between being menaced, using Dani Moonstar as a Valkyrie and then being menaced by the Disir in Marvel's Underworld. So really, so you gotta if you've read Gillen's stuff, it's like this stuff really doesn't fit all that well. I mean, like but still, it's like if you're willing to allow for suspension of disbelief, then then it works. So I mean, it's not essentially in it by any means. I mean, it's a story beat. All you need to know is that after this story, like Thor, Iron Man, and Steve Rogers are just working together. They're best buds again. And if you need to know more, if you want to know why, then go ahead and read this story. And I think that's about it. So like I like Bendis' stuff on the series so far. Else I wouldn't be buying this stuff. I mean, I am still looking forward to his second volume of Avengers proper, even though he apparently brings back Thanos right after the Thanos Imperative, which I'm kind of wondering like, okay, like Thanos was kind of meant to die at least go away for quite some time after this, but now he's been brought back in volume 2. So we'll see how that goes. But in the end, it's good stuff. I recommend if you have any interest in the overall narrative of the Marvel Universe, then these are really essential reads.
All right.
Yep. And on that note, call it a night.
And we'll see you next time on Comic Picks by the Glick. Yeah?
Yes.
All right. All right. See you later.
Laters.